Alright, we're live. Today's OST is going to be Half-Life Alyx. Let's get some Half-Life in our lives. Half-Life music gives us a full life. Alright. And then the objective here is the quills today. So, how do we want to start this? I guess we implement the passive and the attack. Well, then we go from there. Like, we add them to the dictionary, I mean, and then we implement them. So, I guess, sure. Let's use charge as a template as a range 3 attack. So, quill shot. Should be like that. Can YouTube stop subscribing you to channels you've never seen in your life? That sounds like unintended behavior. Or your account's been hacked. Or something. This will be subtype quill, I guess? Damage on this should be relatively low. Maybe we'll make this like 8 damage. Crit can stay high. Let's boost the accuracy. How about 77? We'll make crit 10%. No condition. Effect is quill. 1 quill. No duration. No chance. Movement 0. Guts cost, say 20? Cooldown of like 10 is probably okay. Let's make this a lucky 13. Animation time. Let's make this a quick animation. Range is 3, draining maybe 5. Description. Shoot a quill at the opponent. Quill stick in the target. And add damage. Okay. Sure. Does this seem balanced? Probably. We should nerf Fishhook while we're here looking at it. Let's boost the cooldown to 8, up the cost to 25. They just checked 2 minutes ago and I subscribed to a random news channel despite being on YouTube like 10 minutes before that. Yeah, I don't know, man. That's weird. I could also nerf like hit chance. Drop this to 55. Let's not nerf the hit chance. Let's just, yeah, just nerf the cost a little bit and the cooldown. So it's a little less spammable. Okay, and then passives. Oh, no, we gotta add this to the dictionary. Hold on. Quill shots. Okay, quill shot is in. Then we go to the passives. I had a note for what I wanted to call this. I believe I scribbled it down on a sheet of paper, so... Oh, it's right here. It's on the back of an envelope. Defensive quills. Does this still not function correctly? Let's we'll investigate that. It'll become very apparent on the quill thing. Defensive quills. Alright. Undefend chance. Global effect. Quill, I guess? One quill. How do we... I guess we do it at the percent chance on of application. Excuse me. So 10-20% chance on hit to stick one quill into the enemy. A 10% chance to cause them to get stuck with one quill. Have a chance. Let's do it like this. Have a chance for quill to get stuck in them. Enemy attacks have a 10, 20, 30% chance for one quill to get stuck in them. That works for description. Alright, defensive quills. Okay, now we go to lobby layout. No, title stuff. We already added the quills as a value internally. We go to the Iguanodon. Quill shot. Range priority is now 3 for the quill shot. Defensive quills 2 maybe. I just have it listed as a 1. Alright, fair. 1. Defensive quills 1, regenerator 1, thorny hide 1. Quill shot. Quill shot. This is this should be attack 7. Not that it matters that much which spot. Quill shit. Quill shot. Okay. Okay, so now we gotta go to scripts. We're looking for the effects. So this is do status. Effect, scale, duration, if, crit check and crit flag. If effect. How did I think I just fed it through inverted for the counterattacks, so I think I should just be able to set this up once. So yeah, we can just base this off essentially anything. So let's just do this here. This also doesn't have timers, so this is simple for that reason as well. Quill or quill, attacker player, global.en.quill. Quills equals scale. Return. You enemy was stuck. Staggered for second, staggered. Target was stuck with a quill. I don't know. Stuck with the quill. We'll do it like that. This should be plus equals. Plus equals scale. Okay, and then on the lobby, we need to reset quills. Wherever we reset anything else, we already do it. Quills reset to 0. Okay. Now, the quills don't currently do anything, but I want to test the application of the quills first and worry about the effect of the quills later. So, let's do that. So we need a new sprite. Create sprite. Oops. Import. How much of this is just like radio music? Well, the OST's got like a lot of radio stuff, it seems. We'll skip that one. This also does not get me jamming. I should replay Half-Life Alyx for fun. It's been a little while since I last done a run-through. Good fucking game. It's a good test on my computer. Again, because I did a clean out, so... Alright, DR assets, folder, looking for the quill icon, which is somewhere. Here it is. Alright, there's our quill sprite. That's quill. Now, how do I I guess we make an object? Yeah, okay. Create object. Name O underscore Quill. Sprite is Quill. Add event, create. Now, can we randomize the location? And the coordinates. Probably don't want to randomize the coordinate here. We probably randomize the coordinate on generation. Let's come back to that. I think we can just leave this on with no effects currently. So now let's go to the player character for the battle icon, which is this one. Now, when this is drawn, okay, let's do it like this. On creation, we go sum quills equals 0. Then we do if PC, sorry, global.pc dot quills is less than sum quills global.pc.sumquills player Ceratosaurus. I still don't know what you want from me. You have to use more words than that. So if we have less, if our quill value, no, it should be if our quill value is greater than, because that's where we're generating quills. Let's make some comments here. Compare expected quills to visible quills. So if it is less, then we do I guess we for loop. Let's copy the for loop. I always find an existing for loop to copy to make sure I don't fuck up the syntax, because I still don't 100%. Actually, I'm pretty sure I remember it, but I just don't trust myself to remember it. You know how that works. It's just easier to find and copy one. Now, this is global.pc.quills minus some quills. Right? If I'm supposed to have 2 quills and I have none visibly displayed, 2 minus 0, loops twice to generate 2 visible quills. If Myosaur gets in the full game, could it shoot its babies at opponents like Dragon Ball from Pokemon? That would be fucking hilarious. I like where your head's at. I think that might be too goofy for the game though. But I'm amused by the concept. What if we made it like Mega Kangaskhan, where you have the baby that like echoes your attack for half damage? That on the other hand could work. That's a little, it's a little weird from like the ranch side of things, right? And just in the same way that Kangaskhan being one Pokemon is very weird because it's clearly 2 creatures that are separate from each other. I'm gonna write that down, but I don't think that makes it in the game. the Mega Kangaskhan thing. Could be interesting for like a DLC. Like, what if we did like theoretically, right? The game exists, the serious version exists, and we do like a goofy DLC, right? And the DLC is basically some new animals that are like ridiculous. They're like much further over the top. Fire breathing Parasaurolophus, Dragapult or Kangaskhan Maiasaura, that kind of shit. And then we make that like an optional thing, right? Like if you have the DLC, you can do a run with the DLC to use the insane dinosaurs, or you can do the base game run with the more serious ones. That is an idea. It's like Wild Wasteland and Fallout, right? Fallout's already a little over the top, but if you have Wild Wasteland as a character trait like in New Vegas, then it adds the really goofy shit to the game for your playthrough. There's a lot we could do with that. That could get really, really crazy. We could even do like, we can add like more paleo meme type shit, stuff like that. That would be pretty fun. Make dinosaurs up wholesale. I quite like this idea. But this is, again, far-flung post-release shit, I think. Alright, so we're generating the quills. Now, we need an X and a Y. So how do I find that? How do we dictate that? Let's call it target X and target Y. Actually, let's call this what it is. Quill X, Quill Y. Quill X, Quill Y. So we generate coordinates for this quill pseudo-randomly, but we need to base it off the player character. So how do we define that? Do I think that you could use a Diplocaulus as a boomerang? Probably not. Probably not the whole Diplocaulus, because the body would like throw off the aerodynamics of the head. You probably have to decapitate it first. Trying to think of how I define this, because I can't just like randomize these coordinates if they're supposed to be visually quills that are stuck in the animal. Also, I probably should redo the quill sprite, actually, now that I think about it, because it's got a lot of white space that I think is going to make this more complicated. So let's change the sprite. Also, which track is this? Metro? Let's go to some head crabs. Okay, file, save, exit, change the sprite, import, yes. Okay, there's our new quill sprite. Alright. How do I do this? Because the sprite exists as a box. $650, 1156, 115. So if we called it 115, let's make a note. It's 1150 length, right? And then it's scaled down by 4 times. And then that dictates the starting position. So we go half of that. So call it half of 288. So 144. So x plus 144 equals halfway on sprite. So then we randomize essentially from 0 to 288 or something. Let's just call it 0 to 280. And then for Quill Y, I was like 650, 325, call it 160. So roughly 80-ish. 80 center, plus minus maybe a smaller fraction of that to try and stick it in the middle of the animal. So that would be like maybe plus minus 20. The player is a sprite is a Carnotaurus. I've commented before, we're not changing that, so I don't know what you expect me to do to respond to your comment. Wait, why does this... What are we... We're missing a thing. Oh, because these aren't defined. Yes. Duh. Which one do we want? Takes no less than 1. Functions are good for probabilities. Returning an integer is not necessary. That's not what we want. There was like... Was there rand ints? Int 64 makes it an integer. I forgot what we did before to do this. Let's just Google game maker random integer. It doesn't actually need to be an integer. Random. Actually, let's try random. So we generate random number. I guess between 0 and 280? Let's just, yeah. I would probably want these like centered more heavily. So maybe we do quill x1 is this. Let me think about this. And if we do quill x2, and we do that half of it, I mean, I've said it before, Serrato will be in the game eventually. I don't know what else you want me to do, because it ain't going in now. It's way too much work to add another thing randomly just because you're bringing it up. So, if we generate a position along the 280 full axis, it's a good way to weight this. How do we weight this? Also, 280 is actually not what we want to do. No. Okay, I got it. We go 140? Yeah. 140 for the exposition. Yep. We add 140. Wait. No. Keep it 280. Quill Y. We call this random 40. Oops. Let's go to 1. Random 40. What was the create object command? Instance create depth, I guess. Not sure what depth I want here. Okay, we generate the object at quill position X. And we do it at 60 plus quill Y. Sure, let's just get this working and then worry about it later. And then depth, we'll put it at 10. I don't know. What else are we missing? We're missing the object, but what do I tell it? XY depth object, asset.gmo object. Yep. Oh, quill? Okay, and then when we create a quill, we want to randomize rotation if we can. So we probably do that then on the quills themselves, right? No, we want to feed this x plus quill x, y plus 60 plus quill y, because then it takes the position of the original sprite into account. Yeah. Now then when we go to the quill object, it has now been created. At location x, y. No, we don't want this to be fed X necessarily. Shit, how do we do this? Instance create. I need to pass. Yeah, I don't want to pass just these. I want to pass an object along. So let's go to the moveset builder. Let's look at how we coded that. Builder layout. Instant create depth past the bars. Okay, that's all. Yeah, so we did do instance create depth. Okay, okay. Yeah. So when we go here, if this, the vars, so the vars are, hold on. Here. We'll call this QX. QuillX. Let's just call it QuillX. Fuck it. Keep the variables the same. There's no reason not to. QuillX gets passed here. We'll call this one Quill Y2 because this should be the 60 plus Quill Y. Okay. So now we pass along QuillX and Quill Y2. Which are the offsets here between X and Y. And then when we do, the object is generated. And then we want to do a draw on the quill. Add event. Draw GML code. We just do X equals O underscore player dot X plus QuillX and Y equals O underscore player dot Y plus Quill Y2. Okay, and that should be equivalent. Oh, this is wrong. That should be equivalent to how the spine of the Stegosaurus works. Stegospine 3. Wait, do these not? How did I set that up? That works. How did I do that? Did I do it here? If enemy is Stego? Or if the character is Stego, then it drags the spine with it? It's not even a draw. How did I make the Stego? How did I make the spine work? Wait, is there another? Ah, this it's called the overlay. Yeah, there we go. X equals enemy dot x, y equals enemy dot y. Then it just follows along. Perfect. Great. And on creation, we scaled it. We'll need this. We'll need some sort of image scaling. Let's copy that over. HP, original index, sprite index, none of this matters. So yeah, let's scale the quill. We will have to visualize the size of the quill and just get used to that. So we go here. And then let's look at the rotation thing. Rotate sprites. Change sprite, color, size, and rotation in GameMaker. I want to do it. Can I fucking save and close? I don't fucking care. Draw sprite. Draw self. X scale, Y scale. This sucks. Image angle is a thing. Yeah, image angle equals random 360, maybe? Can we, does this tell us, since the angle rotation of the sprite's measured in degrees, 0 to 270 is down, sure. Okay, then random. Sorry, I want to see the description of random again. Whole integer, whole number. I mean, yeah, upper range from which it's selected. Okay. Great. All right. Then we should test it. Let's go to the title and intervene in the battle order. Let's just do this. Copy this. Paste this. Comment out this. And kill the baryonyx. So we start with the iguanodon for iguanodon testing. Run the code and see what happens. Alright. This track is too ambient. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Just looking for a little more action. How about some man hacks? Alright, starting battle. You should shoot a quill at me. It hit. Yeah, but it has to actually stick in us. Yeah, we got bled from hitting. Okay, we got a crash. Parse passives, P-list, resolve attack. Alright, let's evaluate the bug. Okay, error of mouse event. Array index 2 out of range 2. Parse passives. Duration equals global.passive. Okay. Feels weird seeing Iguanodon be so small. Yeah, the size scaling is not important right now, so that's why I haven't really dealt with it. Passive base plus the reindex value. L plus reindex plus 1. 418. Okay, so let's figure this out. This is probably the reindex value coming in here. 453. Players, player, parse passives. $418? Yeah. So this is the bug? Duration, specifically? Base plus reindex. Wait, but if the scale... Oh, because it's expecting a duration to exist. Right? Yeah, I think that's the problem. So let's reevaluate that. Let's go to the attack dictionary and look at this. How did I set up the stagger effect? Because the stagger, scale 1, duration 5. Scale 1, duration, well, let's just make this 60. Fuck it. So that doesn't matter. It's definitely the problem is with the passive. Which means the stagger passive would also be a problem. Probably, yeah. Okay. Base and scale. And so it's expecting the duration. Let's just copy this. Before we just implement a fix arbitrarily, let's make sure we understand this. But I'm pretty sure I know what the problem is. So, back to the script. So we get a scale value. Expected index is L, and then the expected value for duration is immediately after that. Always. Yeah. So anytime we expect there to be a scale, we expect there to be a duration. So yeah, probably the play is just to go to the passive and just give it a duration of 60. Get stuck in them for comma seconds. Enemy attacks have a 10, 20, 30% chance for one quill to get stuck in them for 60 seconds. Sure. Oh, I also had the class that always had the int there still. That probably wasn't the bug, but... Quill shot missed. Kick hit, 13 damage. Mule kick misses. Kick miss. 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 Fuck off. Oh my god. Okay, we had a hit. Okay, just shoot me with a fucking quill. Shoot me! Quill me. Quill me. Quill me. Misses the quill. I missed the kick. I missed the kick. Dude, what the fuck was that round? That was dog shit. Oh, this is still... Okay. So this doesn't reset properly. Oh, probably because I intervened? No, because the concede button doesn't do the reset. Whatever. Alright, fuck it. Just rerun it. Wait, can I just intervene? Ah, fuck it. It'll work eventually. I should probably just, like, boost Quill Shot to make sure it always applies a Quill. Critical hit on a kick. Countered, I got bled. Alright, well, we actually lost. Incredible work. Okay, let's just hack these. So, passive dictionary. Give it a 100% chance to land a quill on hit. And then on the attack... Wait, if chance is 0? Oh, I had this... I didn't have the chance set correctly anyway. Wait, this is supposed to be 100. Yeah, if the quill shot hits, it's supposed to quill you. I forgot to fix that. Or set that value, I mean. Where are all the, like, bangers in this OST? Not that, like, any of this is bad. It's just all very, like, ambient. Like, where's the combat music? How many more songs are in this OST? 91 tracks. Alright, quill me. I'm here. Quill shot hit? I don't see a quill in my torso. Anywhere. But it might be underneath me. Okay, countered you. Interesting. It just says you. Why does the counter just say you? Okay, I don't see any quills. All right. I have a few questions. At least the game didn't crash. That's good. Quill. Quill or effect quill, attack player. Oh. Yeah, I never put this in for the enemy. That explains that. Attacker enemy. Stuck with a quill. Now, where the fuck? Why was it saying you? Well, let's worry about that if... Let's worry about the feedback if it's still wrong here, now that we fixed this. It misses the quill shot. Okay, new crash. Variable quill.x not set before reading it. Why? I mean, I know what the bug means. I just don't know why it didn't get fed the quill X. So let's look at this. So the player character, quill X, vars quill X. I never passed the vars. Whoops. Whoopsies. Whoopsie doodles. This is one of the best sound effects in the game IMO. Cable pulse. That is... Huh. A sound effect. That is not even a track. Okay, misses the kill will shot. Alright, we quit, we kick, we miss, we kick, we hit, countered, you stuck with a quill. We have a bleed effect. I don't see a quill. Kick, miss. Countered, you stuck with a quill. Stuck with a quill, stuck with a quill, stuck with a quill. But where are the quills? They could be behind me. Stuck with a quill. They were definitely generating. Okay, so let's do this. Let's go to here. Maybe we made them too small. Let's kill this. They should be 4 times bigger. So even if they're behind us, we should see them peeking out, one would think. Ooh, wait a second. I know one thing we should look at, which is the actual size of the sprite. Width is only 172, height is 428. And then the height of an actual animal is 500. So the quills are about the size of the animal, which is then scaled down by 4. We should have seen the quills, I think. Curious. Shot missed. Stuck with a quill. I don't see a quill. Okay, well... Let's do this. Let's go to the quill object. Let's create show debug message X. Show debug message Y. Oh, and I never updated... Right, I'm missing another piece of code that I need, which is in the player. So, some quills is 0. We generate the quills position, we generate the quills. And then we go some quills plus equals 1. Yeah, the quills do generate in the sense that, like, I am getting randomized coordinates. Okay. So I am seeing the quills correctly generate. I'm seeing one set of coordinates for every instance, so this works. This used to be changed, though, because this is actually slightly... Let's do this. Some quills. Global.pc.somequills. 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 Somequill. Then we go to genetic info. Because the quills probably should be tracked with the individual creature. So we track the quills here. And we go to title. We add it here. Some quills 0. Some quills 0. Some quills 0. And some quills 0. And then when we start the battle in lobby layout, some quills to 0 for both. And then we ensure that that always resets properly on returning. Because that object might persist between exiting and returning. Some quills is 0, some quills is 0. Okay. Now the question becomes, do I need to draw self? Do I do a draw self on this? Yeah. Create. Image X scale, image Y scale. Indexes, if species index. For feeling green. And then set the X and the Y on. These are set stepwise. Oh, this is step, not draw. Maybe that's the problem. Yeah. This should not be here. Add event step. GML code. And then the draw can be deleted. Boom. Pretty sure that was why we weren't seeing them rendered, because we had a draw without actually telling it to draw itself. Like, the draw events were not happening, right? Which is why the quills never actually showed. Misses the quill shot. Okay. I think we missed anyway, right? Oh my god, the quills! We got quills! It works! Holy shit! Random positions and rotations! Oh, that's sick as fuck! Holy shit! Okay, we need to scale them down by, like, an insane amount. Okay. But it works! It works! That's so sick! Okay, so we do this. X scale, Y scale. Honestly, these probably need to be like 0.05 or even smaller. Okay, cool. We'll test that again in a second. I will be right back. Okay, cool shot misses. Kick misses. Kick. Miss. Miss. Okay, I got stuck with a quill. I don't see it. Oh, I see it. It's by my tail there. Oh, there's one by my arm. Oh my god, you could they're like really tiny, but they're there. Another one off my tail. Oh, that's sick. Okay. Cool. So let's shrink these. Let's make these 1.1 size, double the size of them. Maybe even 0.15. Let's try that. 3 times bigger. I would like to see a little bit of like the stripes, even if they end up being bigger than the quills that are on the iguanodon. And then when we randomly generate these, I'm going to cut down the X position. Let's do 200 and then add the 80. But then they should never generate on the end of the tail, essentially, is the idea. And then we change this to quill x2. So we go to the quill object. Step, quill x2. Quill shot hits, stuck with a quill in our neck. Kick. Another quill in our shoulder. This is so sick! It works! Okay, and they do reset. Okay, they're a little on the big side still. Well, because we made them bigger. So we're going to go down to 0.1. I would like to... Did we verify if the quill shot worked? Let's make the hit chance 177. Does that crash the game? I don't think so. The quill ended up off our ass, but it's fine. It's a work in progress. Yeah, so we would want to eventually define like a proper layout for the visual aspect of the animal, so that the quills don't ever generate off the body like that. But this is pretty sick. That's pretty sick. Alright, so back to his hit chance of 77, 100% chance to apply the quill if the shot does hit. And then on the passive dictionary side, let's leave this at 100 for testing for now. And then what we need to do is we need to go to the damage calc in the scripts. Search for I guess damage. What do I call it? There should be a final, like... Okay, plus P dam. Oh, maybe I don't use P list, P dam. Damage value equals P dam minus PDR plus N64 crit mod dammer and DDAN. Batch cut by 50%. If attacker is player, (0.enemy HP minus equals damage value plus global.en dot sum quills adds +1 dam per quill. +1 damage per quill. I'm gonna just put the parentheses in here. Just because. I know it doesn't, it's unnecessary. But a part of me is still like, but what if it mattered? So, okay, so now the quills count for damage. Next thing we need to do is the quills for the enemy. So we need to go to the object player. We need to copy all this code. Let me go to the Oberry, O enemy. Under draw. Wait. Why does that one have a draw cell and this one doesn't? Huh. Global.en.quills. Global.en. Global.en.sumquills plus equals 1. Then maybe we don't have the 80 on the X for the enemy because the enemy faces us. Carnivore's mods are crazy now. You can do tons of, do that stuff on mobile. Not surprising that you could do that on mobile. You can play Doom on like a microwave or whatever nowadays, so. En. That seems good. Let's go to genetic information. Give ourselves defensive quills as well. Defensive quills tier 1. All right. They missed the quill. We missed the kick. Kick. Okay, there's a quill stuck in my hide. There's another one. Shank for 4. Now there should be a quill on the opponent. Nope, the quills are being added to me. I'm taking all the quills. Also, this isn't counting correctly either on the shanking, on the damage output. Oh, because the damage listed is in the damage value, right? Probably. Wait, why are these different? I'm sorry, plus this. Why is this plus PDAM minus PDR? PDAM PDR. Why would these not be applied in the other spot? These should definitely be included here, right? Pre-dam. D-dam. PC plus PDAM minus PDR plus int64 plus PDAM minus PDR plus int64 plus PDAM minus PDR plus int64 crit mod DDAM did we status countered. Definitely missed those, right? Player HP minus equals damage value. Player quills. Enemy HP, enemy quills. About how many dinosaurs I imagine will be in the final version of the game? Probably like 30 early access, twice that many at release, maybe? I don't know. I'm not super married to those numbers. Part of it depends probably on like artistic workload with what I envision for the sprite work, which I need an artist before I know how much of a burden that might be. Yeah, okay, the damage, yeah, this should have always been in the damage value. Okay, so why are the quills being applied only to the player character, even when I hit the opponent? Global.en.quills. Global.pc.quills. If attacker is player, if attacker is enemy. Global.enemy counter. Did we status 3? Countered you. Do status. Countered opponent. Let's run this again and see what this seems like. Hey Ali, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. So, first things first. Okay, quill shot hit, got stuck with a quill, countered for a quill, and it's stuck in me. So that is still happening. All the quills go in me always. Now, let's have him shank us a bunch and see the damage values. A shank for 8, a shank for 10. These should keep scaling up based on, because we're taking more quills. 8. 7. Wait, he's got a quill in him. Or is that in the front of us? No, that's in the front of us. Shank me. 7. It should do more than 7 there. 7 shouldn't be possible for a damage roll. The new Monster Hunter Stories game is 85. Which got you wondering, since there are both monster collector type games. Well, we have a hybridization system. So there'll be a lot more possible things you can make out of the base animals. Assume there are achievements in the final version. One of them would be about catching them all. Maybe collecting all the like the DNA samples. Maybe you probably can't have every animal active at the same time. We'll see how it works out exactly. Okay, so why did that happen like that? There's 2 potential bugs there. 2 potential problems we're seeing here. Now the question is, are these related? All right, here's what we're doing. We're going back in. We're going to let him start shanking us. We're going to see. Let's track the numbers better. You might have cheated with your make research expedition synthesis and incubation to be twice as expensive to compensate for not using income tax. Need the bigger amenities to make money. That's potentially one way to balance it. Could be interesting. It is kind of weird, like, I guess because it's easier to turn on and off income tax rather than modulate the prices of things, which is why they went with income tax as a design feature for that. But what I really want to do is tinker with lawyers. I really want to figure out how to mess with the lawyer settings. Okay, he misses the quill shot. He mule kicks me. I know what the problem is. I know what the problem is. I think I got it. Okay, kick him. Okay, we've got like a bunch of quills stuck in us. Oh! I couldn't see. It's a visual bug. It's not actually glitched. This is why the quills didn't appear to be scaling damage. It's because the quills were actually on the enemy, but they're being visually displayed on us. That's because the positioning of the quill is linked specifically to the player right here. So what we need to do, I know exactly how to fix this. When these are generated, also we do generate them for the enemy. So we do this. We go, okay, let's just, the enemy's right here. Let's start with this. We do another internal variable here. We call this source. No, source is a bad name for this. This is, host, I guess. So this is a quill that is stuck in the enemy. And then when the player character is generating quills, visually generating quills that are on itself, i.e. quills that have been stuck in it, host player. I didn't make the other one a string, which is what we want to do here. 0 enemy. Okay, and now when we do the quill generation, so the quills might have been flashing onto the iguanodon initially. If we had a really quick eye or slowed it down, we might actually have seen that. Because this is being generated at X dependent upon the sprite X, but then it moves dependent on the player's X, which is an interesting little mistake. And we just go here, we go if host absolutely equals player for this particular instance of the object, and if host is enemy, and that should solve that. And now this should make sense. Okay, they shot us with a quill. We kicked back. Or no, yeah, we got they got a quill on the counterattack from the quill shot. Yeah. Okay, kick. We get a quill. Now we have 2. Okay, now they have 3 quills. Going for the headbutt. We got stuck with another quill. Cool. Shank 6. Shank 7. Shank miss. I want to check the shank numbers. Shank 6. 7, 6, something like that. Pretty typical. That's very funny. Okay, let's do... Does the damage preview know about the quills? Probably not. Opinions on photography games. What do you mean by photography games? Pokemon Snap? It's okay. It's not really my thing, but I don't hate it. I don't really play them. I'm trying to think about how I want to test this damage boost. I guess... What is the base damage on Shank? Shank's base damage is 5. Yeah, so let's do it like this. We enter here, and we're going to kick the shit out of them until we got a bunch of quills in ourselves. Or like 1. Okay, well, what about this? Let's just get a sense of the damage output. Because we've had a lot in us before. If these Shanks are doing like 5 damage, I think we can be pretty sure the quill damage calc is working correctly. Yeah, 5. I'm pretty sure the quills work. 4 or 5, but we were seeing like 6 and 7 and 8 before. Now we're just seeing consistently 4 and 5. when we've got just the one quill stuck in her neck. I also love that he's just a mess of quills. It's very funny. Alright, cool. So that should be the full quill implementation. It should be good. So, gene data. We clear out the quills that we put on the Carnotaurus. We clear out. Let's fix the title stuff. I.e., put the tournament order back in order, maybe? Actually, let's leave it alone for now. Because we should get the rest of the Iguanodon moveset sorted out. Which is Talk Dumb, Get the Thumb. Did I have an effect in mind for that? I feel like I had an effect in mind for that. Did I write it down? It's not on my envelope. Obviously, the meme potential was a thing. Maybe I didn't have an effect for this. Let's reset the passive scale value back to 10% chance from 100. Now, I don't know if Talk Dumb, Get the Thumb is going to function as a full attack name, but it's probably fine. Talk Dumb, Get the Thumb, claw type attack. Effects. We had like a crit bleed, right? Crit bleed effect. Scale duration. $75 hit chance, 25 crit chance, damage 20. Scale 5, duration 10 on a crit bleed. With 100% chance. Cost is 35. The cooldown can be like low. Animation time should be enormous. Range is 1. Have I heard of the upcoming Pal World ripoff? Yes, I saw the stuff. It was very funny. A massive desperation attack that causes bleed 5 for 10 seconds on crit. Okay, so I'm gonna put this as a condition. Also, what is the most damage I have on anything? Damage 30 on charge. Let's make this 30. Big damage, big bleed, big accurate, big crit chance. Let's make this even bigger cost. 40 cost. Cooldown is short, but it's not spammable because of the large cost. This is a desperation play type move. So if we go to the script, I need to check if I'm going to the gym. All right. If the condition equals requires bleed, if the condition is none. Global attack cleanse. If the condition equals desperation. Global dot. Okay, this is a problem. This is PC here specifically. Function condition check. Where is this? Why does this not bring up another instance of this? The fuck? If the Earth has a Capra Sucus equivalent so they can suffer like Arc players before them. Yeah, could be good. Okay, we do global.en. Okay, we got some problems. Current HP divided by max. And if this is below 0.25. Check situation. Condition is always. Condition check, check situation. Wait, oh, is one of these like a shit version of the other? If condition is low health. This is for passives. Check passive condition. Great. Okay, no gym. We're gonna try and finish this then. This is checking passive condition. This should be checking an attack condition, but it doesn't appear to be used anywhere, which is interesting. The condition is always chance. Low health, passive master. I'm just making sure this isn't bad. Check subtype. This is all passive checking stuff. Maybe I started doing this and I never actually implemented it into the attack sequencing? Resolve attack. If attacker is player, attack effect logic, defense effect logic, PDM, parse the list, guts correction. Did we hit, did we crit, did we drain, did we status? Damage value, chance. If crit less than chance, did we crit? Aggression check. Is it under the enemy AI for selection only? Condition check. This only dictates the movement. Oh, OAI is what dictates the attacks. Condition check, bingo. So this is in 3 spots. If condition check, name 2. Global, so condition check of name. Name 2 equals global yen at attack list I. So we check the, yeah, okay. So does that work here? Condition check of name. Name effects. Okay, so the cond is the condition. If desperation and HP below 25%. Logic 1. So that works. Okay, and then do we have a... Am I allowed to use attacks that I shouldn't be allowed to use? Let's make a note on the script here. Check attack condition for AI only, i.e. does it click button. Okay. It makes sense that this would be handled separately. So. This fires straight to resolve attack. We take this stuff and we resolve the attacks. There seems to be no condition check at all. Hey, Cryo, what's up? You forgot there was a stream today. That's okay. We started late. Let's make a note. We need condition checking on the player attacks. Exclamation marks. Big snowstorm might not be here tomorrow. Yeah. Weather is weathering again. Same here. I'm not going to the gym tonight because there's weather, which is probably the tail end of the same shit you're gonna face. Just the southern part of it, right? That'd be my guess. Okay, so we're gonna worry about this later, maybe? I could test it now. Okay, first things first. We go to the attack dictionary. Talk them, get the thumb. Condition is now desperation. So, basically, if the Iguanodon is below 25% HP, he can launch this big fuck you attack. So let's give it to him. Gonna go to sleep? Alright, I'll catch you later, Crow. Don't get snow, don't die underneath a mountain of snow. Good luck. Hopefully your roof doesn't collapse under 500 feet of snow. Yeah. Title stuff. Talk. Dumb. Get the thumb. This is attack number 2. Talk to him, get the thumb. So this should finish the Iguanodon. The Iguanodon should be fully coated. All we have left to do is finish the Stegosaurus. And then do some bug testing and make attack scaling work, which is the last thing we do for the vertical slice. So we're getting really close to being done here. Which means I'm going to have to investigate our options for where we go after this on the game. Okay, so death roll is one word. Let's give the player character death roll here quick. Test this out. Let's verify that I don't have somewhere buried in this code something that actually stops me from death rolling. Death roll 1. Death roll 1. Killing Devour 1. Sounds like Flight of the Bumblebees if the boys were really pissed off. Very funny. Comment on the YouTube video. Right. Immediate crash. AI step 0 line 62. Oh, also, death roll was weird there. It didn't really matter. That was just this. Fixed it, though. Okay, so what was this crash? Step event 0 for OAI. Hash argument 1 incorrect type expecting a number. Range equals global attacks name to range. Line 62 of the AI. Why did this bug? Range equals global attacks name to range. Did I miss the range on the attack? Did I not set it up correctly in the dictionary? Range 1. Condition check desperation. I don't see any... This shouldn't have broke? Oh, maybe a quill shot broke? Apparently Kirk is now in charge of the Air Force. What in the actual fuck-ass clown world do we live in? What the fuck? Range 3. Oh, I never added talk dumb here, so maybe that's the bug. Talk dumb, get the thumb. Talk dumb, get the thumb. Hopefully an asteroid wipes us all out at this point. I would like an asteroid to specifically land in like DC only and take out maybe like a small radius. Oops, I didn't mean to train. Whatever. Tournaments. Okay, quill shot worked. Okay, I think we're good. Death roll. I missed. Now, I would like to successfully death roll him to verify that I'm allowed to do this when I shouldn't be able to. I missed again. Pitting him against the corner is kind of a thing, too. We need to get the knockback in there. Yeah, death roll worked. It shouldn't work. Now, I think the button being red does nothing to stop me from clicking it. Interesting that by not having it here, it like glitched out at the spot it did glitch out, but I guess it makes sense because the data didn't exist. It just seemed like it was a weird place that it found that. So... we need to implement this condition check. Let's look at our to-do list. We haven't looked at this in a little bit. To do phase 1. AI spends too much time in slot 2. Done, 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 done. Nah, later. Nah, later. Phase 2 underway. Implement the ranch. Training. Progression of time. Failure based on discipline. So we should still do this. This should still be something that happens. 3 combat specifically, the White House, Congress, and Supreme Court for inexplicable reasons. Yeah, that sounds good to me. Yeah. Yeah. I'm with you. Weekly schedule. Not going to happen. Stress done, but placeholder values with no penalties. We should maybe think about stress. Crop growing is a later thing. Implement full tournament. Yeah, this is done. Without the simulated battles. Done well enough. Debuff timers and tooltips. Done question mark? Why do I have a done question mark? This is done. Free roam the farm, broad animal implementation, crackpot territory, adventures, hybridization. Revised plans. Okay, because this wasn't really like... Okay, revisit stress and discipline. basic pass. So we should look at that more. Implement 4 tournament roster. Stego Iguanodon. This is now done. Make sure we reset status effects at the end of the tournament. Done. Add grit, sprite, and message. Right. Yes, we still need to do that. We need to do grit. XP scaling should be done. I'm pretty sure we did this. Done. Completely, I think. Still need done, but I think we need battle XP. But need battle XP. Redo ability cards to negate terminal additions. Done, but not exactly mod friendly. Well, that's fine. New attacks, attack effects, and passives appropriate for new animals, and finish up placeholder attack effects on Carno. Okay. This is mostly done. Mostly done. Just Stego left. Okay, and then other things. We need implementation of attack tiers. Specifically of attack tier effects. I.e. like plus 5% accuracy and damage per rank or whatever. And then yeah, we need to add implement code to prevent using an to prevent player using a conditional attack when they should not be able to. Turn the button red for UI consistency. Great. So we'll do that. Alright, so that is the to-do list. That is legitimately, like, I think it. Revised plans for vertical slice. So some of these are pretty minor. Some of these are a little less minor. We actually have everything we need, I think, for the Stego. It's just a matter of implementing and testing it. It would be nice to see the Iguanodon actually use Talk Dumb Get the Thumb, but that might be too much to ask. So maybe we should have Talk Dumb Get the Thumb and test it out. Maybe we do that quick. Let's not do that, actually. What is my preferred type of goon? I mean, like, preferably, if I'm going to have some goons doing some work for me, I'm going to want them to be, you know, like, pretty amoral, like, willing to do anything I ask of them, any like, horrible crime I need them to commit. You know? I expect a lot from my minions, so... Okay, restored the Carno back to base. The desperate kind, or one who is part of the Mafia? Well, like, I mean, if my goons are part of the Mafia, they, like, I'm not part of the Mafia. Wink. So, like, you know, I wouldn't have, like, the authority to order them around, so I think I want desperate goons. Kind of as somebody starting out, you know? We start out with desperate goons who are looking, you know, they're as desperate to get by as we are, right? So that's useful to us. And then we work our way up maybe to like professional goons. Ones who have like a good history, strong resume, you know. And, you know, eventually we replace our original goons with those ones. Maybe we keep a few around who've like earned it, you know. We got history with them, you know. Maybe we remember them fondly. We let them just stick around even if they're not as good as they could be. Who knows? All right, I think we're done for tonight. We can work on Stego next stream and then start the final little pieces to finish up the other things. Optimistically, 2 streams to get the slice done? Maybe? Hopefully. Alright, new backup. Every session we make a new backup. Dino Rancher 3. It is March 10th. Alright. Yeah, catch you later, Rugops. We'll do some more of this on Thursday. Tomorrow we should have some sort